morning everyone, welcome to another stream. Going to be doing some scenarios today on either the Great Western Main Line, the East Coast Main Line, or East Coast Main Line, York to Newcastle Modern. So I'm just going to go through some scenarios. I think the first scenario I'm going to play is probably a Class 40 one, which is on the East Coast Main Line, so it's a digital traction Class 40. So probably play that one first, and then I'll just go through the list and see if there's any to play on the others as well. I know I've played some in the past, so it's quite hard to choose because some don't have ticks, some do, which is, like I said, it's a shame they don't put an X between a scenario that you don't mess up, but at least you kind of know that you've done it already. So I have to start probably writing down what scenarios I've played, because I've got a feeling I'm going to start playing scenarios I've played already on other streams recently. I hope everyone's good today so far. I'll be starting shortly. I'm just finishing off my cup of tea. Well, cup of coffee really, but I like calling it tea anyway. But so I'm just going to drink that before it gets cold. So I will be there very shortly. In fact, while we're there, we can go into the game anyway, and then we can have a look through the menus. Let's have a look. Now I've installed some other routes as well. They're routes that I've kind of put in for other DLCs, but not necessarily mean they'll be routes I'll be playing next month. But as I said, I've already installed London to Brighton, Portsmouth Direct Line, and also got West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley. Isle of Wight was installed because there was some assets that were needed from Isle of Wight for the Just Trains for a route that I had already. So yeah, Isle of Wight was one of the requirements. Headwood North, I'm not sure where that come from. And then let's have a look on standard. I've got West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley installed as well. Got Totham installed. That was because of the Class 153 pack has Totham included with it. Got settled to Carlisle again. That's because some of the scenarios I think that I had from AP needed to use the Class 37 from the settled to Carlisle pack. So as I said, there are some routes that were just installed purely because yeah, purely because there was like scenarios that had to have routes installed. Which is, as I said, you install a few things and then it goes out of control. But next month we'll be playing with next month it'll be London to Brighton, Portsmouth Direct, and West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley, which isn't showing up in standard because at the moment all I do is have career scenarios for it. So that's why it's not showing up in standard yet, because there's no standard scenarios available. Castle Rock Railroad is also, I think, because of the Kuju assets, because when you install the American Kuju assets, that route comes with it or something. I don't know, possibly not, or installed it anyway, just so, yeah. But that's kind of the gist of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and let me just do these, don't we? Now what do we turn off? I can't remember what we turn off now. Is it this one? Oh, I don't know, I can't remember. Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one that shows all of them. So the scenario that I'm going to be playing first is on the East Coast Main Line. As I said, the ticks mean they're ones that I've done, but not necessarily all of them. Right, so the scenario I'm going to play next is this one, I think it was. Was it this one? No, which one was it I was going to play? Oh no, it's on the favourites, sorry. I'm being a numpty. Oh, it was favourites, or was it Newcastle Modern? Sorry guys, I'm just a bit confused now. Was it this one? No. Okay. Hang on a minute, it's not supposed to be like that though, is it? Yeah, hang on. Right, so it wasn't on a favourite, so where was it then? Oh, gosh. I just loaded it up just now. Was it the Time Whistler one? No. Oh dear. I'll be there in a minute. I'm still drinking my coffee and I'm half asleep. I don't know why I'm half asleep because I've been up for a while, but is it in Newcastle Modern then? How is everyone? I hope you're good. No, it wasn't there either. Was it a career scenario then? Oh dear. I really don't know what I'm doing. I thought I knew what I was doing, but then I didn't. Oh dear. If there's anyone in chat, that's if there's anyone that's really listening anyway. Might just be, might not be nobody here anyway as normal. Yeah, anyway, let's carry on. So which one was it? Was it the X work one? Nope. I just had it loaded up. I had it loaded up just now. Where did it go? Oh, this is annoying. I had it loaded up. I just played it. I played it and then I came out of the game because I wanted to restart the sim so that nothing, nothing weird happened. And then I can't find the scenario anywhere. Let's see if I do it this way instead. Geez, look at all these trains that are installed already. Crazy. Right, let's have a look for class 40 then. And it might show all the scenarios. And I might be able to find the right one. Here we go, let's have a look. Oh, can I untick that? No. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I hate this bloody thing. Oh dear. Oh, is it this one? Oh, this is the one. Here we go. It was this one. Right, so it's drive 40009 on the daily Heysham Moss to Haverton Hill tank train from York to Northallerton, years 1983. That was the one. So it was from AP Pack 17. So it's set in the autumn, it's rain, and it's in the afternoon. So let's go and play that. Sorry about that, guys. Just I kept thinking in my head it was one of the official DT Class 40s, but then I realised it was from the AP pack. So right, I'm just going to pause again. I just want to finish my coffee off because otherwise it'll just go cold. Right. So anyway, this is the train. I'm just going to pause this for a sec, and then we'll just have a look at the train. First thing I need to do is also set the things. Oh, I can't set it from in here, can I? Okay, well let me just finish my coffee and then we'll start, okay? And I can start off. Right, so this scenario is from, I think it was 17, I think. I don't know if it'll come up. Yeah, it's from pack 17, so it's called 7E91. It's using a digital traction 40. And I'm just going to adjust the lighting in a minute. Although once we come out of the station, it'll probably get a lot lighter anyway. So I'm just finishing my coffee off. Otherwise, it'll just go freezing cold, and then when I want to drink it later, it'll just be like, yeah, yuck. So, so we got in chat. Anybody there? No, I don't think so. I'm just going to say hi, make sure it works. Yep, all good. I guess there's probably either bots or people lurking as usual, getting their points. Right, Newcastle looks quite good in the dark. Sorry, not Newcastle, York, I mean. So I just paused the scenario. We'll be starting shortly. As I said, I was finishing off my coffee. So this is a digital traction class 40. It's not too bad. A lot of people got the AP one after this. Well, the AP Railwright one, but which I've got as well. But this is quite good. It's good to have things because otherwise you'll get a scenario that wants a DT class 40. It's quite interesting because I don't think AP Pack 17 ever got updated to use the other class 40. So it was like, you'd think it would have got updated to use it, but I don't think it ever did, as far as I know, because I've never downloaded an update for it. Some of the older scenario packs didn't really get updated, whereas nowadays with AP, as soon as they bring a new product out, they want to go back through about similar scenario packs in the past, or well, actually I don't think they go through scenario packs now, they just go through their products now and update scenarios in their products. So hello Carter, I'm just finishing off my coffee, so I'm just sitting here, so I've just paused the game because I don't really want to have a cold coffee in 20 minutes time, so I'm just trying to finish my coffee off and then we'll begin. Sorry about the late start this morning. I wanted to start earlier, but as usual things don't go as planned, so it would have been a stop-start scenario otherwise. I wanted to start about 9 o'clock, but yeah, never mind. Just going to play a couple of scenarios. I don't know what scenarios I'm playing yet. I'm just going to go through the list and just play some. See how it goes. So this scenario is with the digital traction class 40. I got this from Just Trains, because Just Trains sell it. You can, I think originally you could get it from Digital Traction shop, but by the time I went to buy it, it was already on Just Trains also sold it. So I got it from there instead. I got it quite a while ago now though, like a lot of my add-ons. Just a bit of background for those that don't know, I've basically been playing Train Simulator since it first came out, so over time I've accumulated quite a lot of the add-ons. So just in case you're coming in my stream thinking, oh, this guy's a new streamer for Train Sim, and suddenly like thinking, wow, how does this guy get all these add-ons so fast? Well, it's because I've already got them all, but I'm just slowly taking them out of the toy chest over time again. That's what it's like anyway. It's like I'll just slowly take things out of the boxes and put things back on the layout again, so that kind of thing. It's like my loft. You know, everyone has a loft. Well, if you've got a loft, that is. And then they always have things in your loft. Well, this is like all my Train Sim stuff's in the loft. Should I bring it back out again? Okay, well, let's see. Right, anyway. Alright, let's restart the game. Right, so here we go. So I'm not going to adjust the colours just yet, because once we go outside of this canopy, it'll probably get lighter. Right, so we are here, and I think we're right, we've got a green light, so I'm just going to put the reverser in. There's not a lot of functionality on this train. If you come from the AP Railway one, this is quite a bit different. It's a bit more simplified, but there's nothing really wrong with that. Right, headlight, there we go. Some people actually prefer the sounds on this class 40 than the AP ones as well. So I guess it's all very preferential. It's all sort of very a thing. Right, let's get going anyway, because otherwise we'll just be here all day. Yeah, I think one person, one of my viewers likes this train a bit more because they used to be around the class 40s quite a lot, and they say that the DT one brings out the whistle sound a lot more, whereas the AP one didn't. So I think it's all just personal preferences really, at the end of the day. Just the usual space bar for the horn, so no B key or anything like that. Right, so now we're out a bit. I'm just going to adjust the yeah, it's just going to be one of these windscreen agains where it's just gonna change the colours a little bit. So let's add a bit more light here and there. Not too much though, but that'll do. It's a little bit better. I mean, it is a grey, and it is, so it's that time of day anyway, so I can't really do much else apart from that. It does seem a bit dark actually. Hang on a minute, let's just try and sort this out. There's only trouble with these ambient light things now. And also, yeah, we'll just leave it on that. See what happens. Otherwise I'll just be spending all day just fiddling. I feel like I'll just be in Photoshop then when I'm editing photos or Lightroom or something all day long otherwise. So if anyone comes in, it's too dark or too light for you, I'm afraid I'm not changing it now. You know, what's light and dark for one person could be fine for someone else, so, you know, that's that. I'm not going to fiddle around anymore. Oh, speeding already. Right, so I think this scenario is about, I can't remember how long it was. Maximum permitted speed, okay, 45. That's good to know. So we can only go 45 with this consist, which would make sense because looking at some of these wagons, they are quite old, aren't they? Some of these probably been around for years. Especially these wagons at the back. Yeah, I don't think they could probably handle much over 45. Those are the sort of things that probably horse and cart would have probably been the max. The stream is a bit dark. It's alright, Cardle. There's not much I can do. It's basically the time of day. It's the time of day versus the thing. You've got to be aware the scenario is set in the autumn. It's 16:30 in the evening, not long before the sun starts to go down. Yeah, I mean, it's cloudy, so it's going to be dark because there's no sunlight getting through the clouds, so it's going to be dark. So unfortunately, just have to put up with it, I'm afraid. Because otherwise it'll just be like, I'll just be spending all day just tweaking the colours just to suit everyone's preferences. So, there's not really much else I can do. I mean, it's not a bright sunny day. It's a bit like those people that come in when I'm playing trucks at night time, and it's night time in trucks, and they're like, oh, it's a bit dark. Well, yeah, it's because it's night time, you know? See, that's one thing I ate as well. Anyway, I'm in one of those moods today, so I might be a bit thingy today. So if I snap at you, it's nothing personal. It's just, yeah. No, we can only go 45 with this train, which is probably why it's going to take a while. I mean, the cab's dark because it's obviously like thinking, well, it's a dark day, so the cab's going to be dark inside, so I can't really do a lot about it. I don't know if there's a light in here. No. Some cabs have lights, this one doesn't have, I don't think. No, there's no cab light in this. You'll just have to take it down to its atmospheric due to the weather conditions, you know, raining. Sun is, it's autumn, so it's not summer. Right, we can only do 45, unfortunately. That's the maximum speed of this consist. As soon as you're ready, you may get on your way. You should be aiming to arrive at North Allerton Avoider at 17:16. Please note that the maximum permitted speed is 45. It's just these wagons. So. Oh, we've got a red light already. That's because I'm not concentrating. Good start so far. Yeah, too busy fiddling around with my settings rather than concentrating on what I'm doing. Oh shit, and here we go. So I have to do this scenario again. Yep. Right, that was that then. Okay, start this one again then. Hopefully I won't get any more interruptions. Let's go. Right, let's get going again. Let's try and do this one properly now. Right then. So let's just get everything in order. Might even put me on that line, I don't know. Right, let's get going. Let's get going. Right, let's go. let's try and get ahead now without, just concentrate a bit now. Oh, I need to change that as well. Hang on a minute. Before I go any further, I need to just change the opacity of the HUD again, just so I can just about read it. Right, there we go. Let's come out of here again. I just restarted this scenario again because I was only about 5-10 minutes into it, so I thought, well, when it's not too far into the scenario, I can just restart. But if it was a bit longer, I would have just played something else. I might do a foggy scenario next. Yeah, digital tractions, they're still about Carder, digital traction. But just some things they you know, that were sold through Just Trains as well. So I think you can, digital traction still exists. You can still buy wagons and pack them, but they're mainly steam engine related stuff. I'm trying to think. I don't think there was many digital traction. I think that there wasn't many digital traction diesels. I think this might have been the only one. But they mainly do steam related stuff. Steam engine era wagons and things like that. And obviously the digital traction Mark 1 and Mark 2 coaches as well, they did in the early days. So you can still go to their website, which I think is digitaltraction.com, and they still have sales on, so they're still around selling stuff. But I don't think they sell the 40 on their site anymore, so you have to get it through Just Trains because you get it there instead. Alright, yeah. I mean, it's stupid. I mean, going at 45, you think I would have, you know, worked out to slow down a bit better. Right, it's starting to rain again. Well, I think there's a yellow up here now, so I'm just going to remember that for next time. I still don't know why we even went on that line in the first place. And also the windscreen doesn't help, because the windscreen is kind of making everything outside look darker than what it is, because if you go outside it's actually lighter than what the windscreen tells you. Right, what we got? We got one of Carder's favourite trains coming, or was that a different one? No, that's another 40. Or was that a 37? It's a 37. Oh, there's two 47s over there. Well, actually, no, there's not. Tell a lie. There's a 47 and a 37. There you go. Part of me wants to press a button, you know, like you can in Flight Sim, to make your view go up a bit. Like, I want to, like, stand up a bit, you know, but you can't, so you just got to deal with that. Right, I think the next signal's a yellow. Just got to remember to stop now. So yeah, we got some like oil tankers, and then we got like these really old wagons at the back, and we got some like a brake van at the front. So this scenario is going to take a little while because it's 27 miles to go and we can only do 45, so... I'm going to come outside a lot more because I think I'm just not really enjoying the view in the cab at the moment. Just got to remember to press the buttons. Yeah, well, it's always been a bit of a bad performing route anyway because it's just very big. And that's one reason why people do scenarios with it in bits as well, because when you're trying to create a scenario in that route, it will crash. It will crash quite often. It's one of those routes. It's a bit like Euro trucks. The route is a bit like Euro trucks in the fact that, you know, the first part of Just Trains was kind of like the base game, and then as time went on, there was like routes that were added. So the last part of it that was added was actually quite a new nice route on its own. So when you go from one DLC to the next inside the route, you can tell the quality change. It was a bit like when you're driving in Euro trucks and you're driving through the UK and base game, and then suddenly you get to the French DLC and you're like, oh wow, and it's such a bit of a difference between the two. So like the Cornwall part from Penzance is quite a nice little section of route. Okay, I know you didn't really like it because it was very countryside and trees, but that's very windy, but that's how the line is in real life. I remember going on it in real life and I was just like, oh, can we just get to the end already? There were some nice sections on the line between Newton Abbot and Penzance, and you know, the bit of Plymouth was nice with the bridge, but after Plymouth it was just like, I was just like, wow, how long is this going to take? Can we, like, you know... No, it can't. It's just because, you know, it's just, Cornwall's just a very difficult place to build a railway, unfortunately. And if that wall gets flooded, then it's the only way in and out. So you can't really. So once that's busted, so once that wall's been busted by the sea in a storm, then trains are stranded either side. That's at Dawlish, that is. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of 40s and 50 limits and 60 limits on that track. Right, anyway, we made it past that first red light at last. Got to remember I can only do 45 down here. This train gets the nickname of being called a whistler because I don't know if you can hear it very well. The volume might be quite low, but you can hear it whistle a bit. It whistles a little bit as it's going along. I think it's because of the turbos or whatever. But anyway. I was hoping it might have had a passenger view on the brake van. Some of the DLC you get, you can have like a little view on the brake van, I think. Although I might be wrong. I might be thinking of TSW or Diesel Railcar Sim now. I'm sure I've seen Captain Jenks do a scenario when he was like in the brake van, but that could be some other DLC or whatever he's got. Right, so this is going to be quite a slog, unfortunately, because it's just a slow freight train. But we'll just see what other trains we pass in the way. As this is an AP scenario, hopefully we'll at least see some other trains come past frequently rather than just the odd one, but we'll see what happens. I like the way of the, like the windscreens at the back work. So have you been playing any more Flight Sim, Carter? You updated Gatwick. Oh yeah, I remember when you I remember when you updated it. Made a flight from there to Jersey. Okay. That's alright then. Oh, to the Gatwick, okay. Yeah. Yeah, that's what happens with some of the community mods. It's like over time, you've got to keep an eye on some because they just get updated all the time. So you could have a mod on there from like ages ago, and then it's been updated like 3 times, and you won't even know about it until you check it again, unless you've got it on so that it can notify you when there's an update. But it depends on the site. I've not really been installing too many mods at the moment. The only reason I put that Rotterdam scenery in was just to show you for that flight, but once that flight was over I just moved it out of the folder again, because I don't really want tons of mods just clogging up places that, because I don't really know what the effect is at the moment of having so many mods installed in the background, so many bits of scenery. I don't know if the game loads up everything, even if it's not going to use it, so it uses up memory or not. So I just tend to like go, well, okay, if I'm just going to put in, if I'm going to do a stream about a certain airfield, I'll just stick that in and then take it off again after. Unless it's like a mod for a plane that I'm flying a bit, then it stays in, but if it's scenery, I'll just remove it again. No point having it there otherwise. But the designer builds some buildings that look like Lego colours. He's doing a good job, but can use a good 3D artist. Yeah, but he's probably just doing it because he just sees the default one and thinks, well, this is better than the default, and he's probably not an expert. And he's just doing something that, people can use, and he just wants to share it. Although they need to change it, because, when I last saw you fly it, they still had the Pappy lights on 08 left, and, like I said, the real-life airport doesn't have all that. So it's only like one runway in operation, so they really need to make sure that that it sort of stays like that, because it doesn't sort of yeah. But as it's a freeware thing, it's pretty decent. But yeah, I was playing a little bit. I was doing my Gatwick yesterday, because I went and I was just sorting out my UK 2000 Gatwick for P3D again, because there was an update to that for the GSX parking, so I was flying there with all the AI everywhere, all the airlines, Emirates, EasyJet, BA stuff, even though BA aren't there now. But I think it's hard for the people doing AI traffic files at the moment to do any during COVID, because it's just a mess. So I guess when they start doing the winter timetables for BA, there won't be no Gatwick stuff there when they update that. But at the moment, you know, my AI traffic, there's still planes at Gatwick, which I'm not bothered about. Flybe's still in it as well, and I like Flybe, so I'll keep Flybe in there. Although if I change to my live plugin, then obviously Flybe and BA don't appear, but it depends what I want to do really. The sky looks quite good on my tablet. On my tablet, because it's got one of those screens that makes everything, you know, like OLED screens, it makes everything look really colourful. So on my monitor, the colours aren't so bright, it's not so saturated, but it sort of saturates the colours on the tablet, so that sky in the background there looks really colourful. Hello Ben, how you doing? Sorry Steam Fan Man, I keep calling you Ben for some reason. It's a bit like, you know, what it's like is a bit like if Steam Man Fan was Darth Vader, so he comes in as Darth Vader, and I go, hello Anakin, how you doing? And he's like, I'm Darth Vader, I'm not Anakin anymore. That name doesn't mean anything to me anymore. But anyway, you all right? I'm all right. I'm a bit in a thingy mood today, so if I'm a bit snappy, it's just me today. I've already crashed this train once this morning, so I'm hoping not to crash it again. Part of it was because I was watching another stream before I went to this one, and in the stream there was people in there that are kind of like armchair experts, and you try and help someone and then you get others arguing with you or have a different point of view. And I know that my argument was right, but then it's just like I just kind of got fed up and thought, well, I'm just going to leave the stream, because if I stay there I'll just end up, yeah, so I didn't really think it was fair on the person that was streaming, so I just thought I'd do my own stream as well. But I had other things to do this morning, so I was kind of delayed. Anyway, never mind. So we're just doing this scenario. It's very slow though, because we can only go 45 because of these wagons. I'll just show you what wagons we got. We got some, like a brake van, and we got some tankers, and then we got 2 vans at the end. But because of this, we can only go 45, so we're restricted. So can't really go much faster than that. I mean, I could go faster, but then it'll just ruin the scenario as well, because all the timings will be based on something else. So we're driving the digital traction class 40 anyway. Actually, has it stopped raining already? Maybe I can turn the wipers off now, CK. I do that quite a lot. I think it's because I don't actually feel the rain on myself. If I actually felt the rain, then I'd know when the wiper... Oh no, I could stop the wipers, you know. Especially when outside. quickly put a scenario base together ready for sending off for co-writer to start work on. I need to install the AP205 pack again for the London to Brighton route for next month, because there are some scenarios on there that I like to play, so I'm gonna put that on. Talking about AP, I noticed something really weird on their site yesterday, which I had to sort of bring up in a forum. So I looked at the minimum requirements for their 317 pack, and for minimum requirements it said you need a computer of 64-bit train sim, because some of the scenarios are quite intensive. I got that. And then it said you need a minimum of 8 gigabytes of memory, which is, yeah, I got that. And then it said a minimum of 8 gigabytes for the graphics card, and I'm like, really? Seriously, AP? You think people are going to have like 8 gigabyte graphics cards? Like everyone's going to have one of those? So I mentioned it in the forum, and then about an hour or two later, someone mentioned the fact that the reference to it on the AP website had vanished. So I thought, oh, it was obviously a mistake then. Because I was like thinking, really? You need 8 gigabyte of video card as well? Really? How many people playing Train Sim are going to have an 8 gigabyte memory graphics card? Like, you know, probably like a very small percentage compared to most people that play Train Sim. So anyway, more wheels, Carder. Also the way that the bogey's set. With the 37, the train moves with the bogies move with the train, whereas on the 40, the bogies move, but this stays rigid. So when you go round a bend, this doesn't move. If that makes sense, it's really hard to explain, but when you go over points, you'll know what I mean. And it's longer as well. This train is longer than a 37. It's a longer train. It's got more wheels. I think a 37's only got, like, I can't remember. Ben would probably know better, but there's like less wheels on a 37 and on the bottom. Plus, it's longer. But yeah, I mean, this bit here, you look at that and you think they look the same, but there are other differences as well. I mean, the engine and everything else is different and stuff like that, so. But yeah, this is this part here is independent of this, so when you go around a bend, this will swing around the points, but this then stays. This one will not follow the train, the wheels, if that makes sense. Yeah, there you go. 37 has 6 wheels per bogie, 40 has 4, yeah. Yeah, because there's like 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16 wheels on this. Well, 16 sets of wheels, so yeah, 16 wheels. And I can't remember how many the 37 has. I think it has 12 or something. But anyway, don't know. But yeah, and inside the cab it's very similar as well. But it's a shame there isn't a 37 just parked up that I could go next to, because then you could see this was longer. I think it's longer, looks longer. yeah, the way that it sits on the bogey is different as well. So yeah, that's basically the differences. I mean, the sound would obviously sound different, so you'd know which one was different for a start. I mean, if you heard both of them together, you'd know which one was different to the 37. But then again, if you haven't heard of 30, but you'd notice that they both sounded different as well. And then you got the 45. Now the 45 again can look very similar in a way. There's quite a few locos that have this kind of high nose thing. I mean, there's obviously the 37, the 45, the 40. You've got the 55 as well that looks similar, but although 55, yeah, it just looks like someone that's. Although the 55 looks like it's just been to the gym and had a workout when it comes out compared to the others. There was a train in Sweden that looked very similar to this, a diesel, that had the high nose, but it was a lot shorter than the 37 and that. But it was good to see. Noisy as hell it was. Noisy little thing it was. Reminded me like of the 33, you know, like a tiny little thing that likes to make a lot of noise, but like a terrier. Hopefully we'll go over some points at some point. I don't know. Then you'll be able to see the difference when it goes over the points. Anyway, so 11 miles to go. So I might look for a scenario on Newcastle to York Modern in a minute. After this, and then, or maybe, actually no, we'll go to Great Western Main Line and play a scenario, because then it breaks up the two routes in the middle. So we'll do that, I think. I'll play one in from Great Western Main Line next. Try and choose one I haven't played yet, although that's quite hard, because as I said, some scenarios got ticks, some don't, and the ones that don't have ticks are normally like, when I play them, it's like if you just get one little cross in it, which is like what I said, it's just a shame in the scenario thing at the side it doesn't just put an X in it, so at least you know that you've played it and got an X, so then it's easier to work out which ones you've played and haven't. then you can play the one with the X again and go if you want to get all the ticks. But just leaving it blank, then you're kind of like, have I played this one or not? Unless you write it all down, you're never going to know, are you? So I could load up a scenario again that we played already in the last couple of weeks. Not all the scenarios I've got installed will work because some are requiring assets that I don't have installed, and I don't, as I said, I not really want to go hunting around for stuff if I can help it. Otherwise I'll just be spending more time looking for stuff rather than just playing scenarios. I mean, Kyle kind of did it, was a good example of that yesterday, because obviously with AP they updated quite a few of their products because the AP317 came out. So the AP317 come out, and then basically AP went through a lot of their packs. I think there was like 6 packs they went through from the past and updated all the scenarios. So all the scenarios then had that AP317 in them instead. So like Carl was like, oh yeah, I'm just sort of like spending time installing all these packs again. And it's just like, well, there you go. So you're just continually having to spend time updating everything. Sometimes it's good just to sort of like to say, well, that's kind of like what happens, when AP release a product, then you have to go back and update tons of other stuff. There's a 56 there. Just a bit of a screecher. Some quick groceries, no worries. All the trains are appearing now, it seems. So yeah, I've already installed some things ready for next month already. I've installed a lot of DLC for London to Brighton. As I said, I still need to install the Thumper pack. I'm sure there'll be other packs I need to install as well. I'm just trying to think. The 319 pack maybe I'll install. I'm not sure. Because that has some scenarios on London to Brighton as well, doesn't it? What else do I need to install? Yeah, there's a load of DLCs. For the West Coast Mainline Trent Valley, I reinstalled the Virgin Pendolino DLC. Gosh, that route is very low on the frames though. I played some scenarios with that last night. God, that route is really high on the resources. West Coast Mainline Trent Valley. So I was looking at it thinking, well, if I'm streaming this, the frames are going to be even less, so yeah, but anyway. I've played it on my potato PC, so why not? It's just not going to be like the same sort of frames you get on these routes. Right, it's not a red up there, is it? It's a green. Right, we're still stuck at 30, but we can go up to 45 in a minute. Right, let's get back up to 45 then. I love that little window there that sticks out, that's really cool. Alright. Yeah, I'm not really enjoying the cab view. I think it's because it's quite a dark day, so then for some reason inside here it makes everything look even more darker, whereas when I go outside everything looks brighter. So I might just do these views for a minute. Yeah, that's what I said, Ben. I said the engine noise is also the big difference. One whistles, one doesn't. Right, 5 miles to go. But obviously this isn't like the Railrite AP one. I mean, there's nothing on here that, you know, where you can see what your engine temperatures are and you have to, you know, watch an eye on that and stuff. But slow down a little bit because I'm supposed to be doing it's getting quite dark now. Can't really do a lot about that. It's the time of day and the weather, so it's going to be dark naturally. Plus I don't have the AP pack thing, so that affects the lighting as well. So, but I'm not going to go ahead and install things. Again, just when it comes to it, I'll install it again. There's a 45. Taking some parcels. 3 miles to go. Right, when we're supposed to be there by? 17:16. So yeah, we're going to be there about on time. So at least I should get a tick for this scenario, which then means that I can say, oh yeah, I've done this one. Rather than not wondering if I've done it or not. I was seriously thinking about just recording scenarios without me talking in them, and then just sticking them up on Twitch and on YouTube, just as separate scenarios, so that people could always watch them back without any commentary. And then on Twitch, all I do is I'll just play the video on Twitch of me playing the scenario, and then I'll just be in chatting on the mic as I'm, but I don't have to then worry about driving because it's just playing and recording, if that makes sense. But the only trouble is there's not that much interaction, because then people will be saying to me, oh, can we hear the horn, or can you go outside? And I can't, because it's a recording. That's the only difference about it. Sometimes I find that when I'm streaming, I make a lot more mistakes than what I do if I'm not streaming, if that makes sense. Which might be boring to some people, because obviously then they'd be like, well, you know, I'm not crashing as much, but I don't know. I think we got to slow down here, because I think there's a red up here, isn't there? Yeah. Just remembered, because we did go for a yellow. I love the brake sounds as well. I guess this would be vacuum braked, wouldn't it, this train? Because of the... Actually, no, it wouldn't be, because the guard's van's doing the brakes, isn't it? Oh, I don't know how it works, but anyway, never mind. Right, I'm just going to crawl up to this signal. It's probably waiting for another train to come past. That's another train you see, like the Just Trains one, where it plays the AWS sound outside. Right. There we go. So we got the road. Could be part fitted. Yeah, I mean all we got is this wagon here, and we got these quite old tankers, and then right at the end we've got these two wagons at the end here. That's it. I don't see any pipes going to them. Maybe no, there are no pipes on those. Oh, I don't know. Whatever. But anyway, it limited us to a very low speed, so we could only go 45, so yeah. This scenario, I think he said it was set in 1983, I think this was. 1983, I think this was, or 1981, can't remember. It was like something like that anyway. Oh, look at that 47 there. Right, start slowing down. Move back a bit, so you guys can see like the little one of the differences with the 37 as well is like the way that the train moves on top of the bogie. So when it goes round the bend, obviously we're not up to a bend yet, but Anyway, never mind. We'll get there. We'll get to a bend in a moment. Just got to watch my speed down this slope. Not really a bend here though, is there? Right, I think we're just going to stay at this signal. Oh, there's the guy that's going to come and take over for me. So he's going to leave me in the middle of nowhere. I suppose I have to walk to the station. Hope they've got a traveller's fare there. Need a BR sandwich now. There we go. Oh, there's a 47 just conveniently at the right time taking a freight train. Well done, another driver will take over from here. Okay, cool, that's that one done. Right, so just going to play another scenario, so let's have a look what we got here. So, let's have a look, shall we? Right. Right, it's Great Western Main Line next. So I'm just going to have a quick look through here. What are we going to do next? Something that works. Something that works. That doesn't load up with some errors. Newbury to Paddington. I'm sure I've done some of these already. What's this one? Paddington to Worcester Shrub. Oh no, it's set at night time. That's no good. Cornish pasty. What's this one? Have I done this one before? Seems familiar. Is that one also a career scenario? Maybe I'll play it if it's a career one. Rings a bell in my head. West Coast Great Western Main Line. No, it's not. Okay. Right, we'll play this one. Cornish pasty, because it makes me hungry. I'm sure I played this one before in the past, but if I played it recently, apologies. We're playing it again. Right, so it's set in the summer, 6 o'clock. Drive a Cornwall bound express between Paddington and Reading. You'll have to be quick off the mark at Paddington and drive close to the speed limits to get the intended effect from this scenario. It's 25 minutes, so yeah, we'll see what this is about. This could be a workshop scenario, actually, thinking about it. Let's see if it loads up. Right. Well, I guess we can go already. Right, let's get going already then, because, yeah, let's get going. Let's get going. drive a Cornwall bound express. Yeah, it just says to get off the mark, so we'll just do this. Has it got what time I'm due in at Reading? It says I've got to be there 18:25. Okay. That's probably why I've never got a tick on it, because I never get there in time. Good job it's not a career scenario. I'm going to adjust some of the options again. Let's just turn the sunlight down a little bit, I think, because it's a bit burnt out and white there. There we go, that'll do. Right, let's go. I think we got a green, or is that a red? That's a green, I think. It's a green. Oh, we can put our foot down in a minute. You see, I'm poised on the throttle. Like, come on. Is that a red? No. It's so hard to see some of these lights. And I'm always very wary around here, because I know on this route sometimes the lights can mess up. So you can go for a green and then the next one will be a red, so I'm always a bit careful around here. Put the foot down a minute. There's the coach view. Right, I've just got the 100 limit coming up, and then we'll be able to speed up a bit, hopefully, and get on our way to Reading. Right, here we go. Can speed up a bit now. So, train that's just come out the yard. Some of you might have seen me play a scenario yesterday where I drove down here. In the Class 153 scenario that I played. Came down there. And then parked up at the siding just up there somewhere. 47. Right, so when we drew back to Paddington, was it 25, wasn't it? So yeah. So this is going to be quite tight, because at the moment it's saying I'm going to be arriving at that time, but let's just see what happens. I've already got a feeling that this is probably not a dovetail scenario. Well, I'm saying dovetail, but before, you know, it's not an in-game scenario, because there's a lot of AI on this. So this must be a workshop one. Someone done. Could probably check after, and it'll probably say it's a workshop one, but. A mixture there, so it's going past the stopper. Right, doing 100 now. I think that's Ealing Broadway, isn't it? It's gone through. I'm not sure. Could be. I think it was. Number 47 there. Carter would have liked this scenario, lots of 47s in it. Just noticed there was a crowd of people gathered around near that football field over there. Yeah, there seems to be a lot of 47s in the scenario, because it's obviously using a lot of the Kuju stock, so there's a lot of freight trains with 47s on and things, so. I mean, there's not lots and lots, but there are some. There's another one there, for example, parked up. Yeah, that other scenario we finished with, we're done with that, so now we're on to the next scenario. Back on the Great Western Main Line, I'm doing a scenario called Cornish Pasty, which is basically just go as fast from Paddington to Reading as you can. So, yeah, basically what this scenario is. There's also a scenario to make you all hungry. Yeah, we went from a 40 to a class 43 Carder. There's another 47 hiding there, look, behind the trains. There's another one. Yeah, there's a lot of AI on this route scenario, it's quite nice. Oh, there's another one. Yeah, there's quite a few in this. Another HST. This is sort of making me think of a white meat scenario. It's like every like minute you're coming seeing another train somewhere. We're going to race this one. It's probably doing 80 or something along that bit of that line there. Yeah, exactly. Oh, just some wagons. No 47 here. Although, oh, there's another one. Yeah, whoever made this scenario just basically used the assets that come with this route. So they were like, well, this route comes with a 47 and the HST and the 166, and then that's all they put in the scenario, which is cool, you know. Because then it just means that anyone that's got the route could just play a scenario and they don't have to download anything else. You get everything self-contained. That's what it's all good. But I still haven't got up to 122. I need 122 though. Right, I think we've got a yellow coming up, so I better start thinking about slowing down. No, it's a green. It's cool. Keep going. We might be catching up a train though, so I'm sure that was a double yellow or something up ahead. So probably catching up with something ahead. 47 again. Another stopper. We're going to overtake another stopper. So yeah, plenty of AI in this scenario. It's good. I like it. It's nice. It might be fictional, so all the times of the trains aren't real, but you know, sometimes it's good just to have lots of trains rather than realism. I accidentally stumbled upon that Sim Rails trailer. If it's going to be moddable like TS, it could maybe come. Yeah, I've seen that as well. Carder. It's got multiplayer and that from the off. See what happens really. The only thing I'm wondering about though, because I don't really know, is how modifiable it is. Like you say, is there going to be an SDK out there? Is people are going to be able to edit stuff, or is it just going to be like Train Sim World where you kind of buy what they supply, but it's got Steam engines in it as well? I don't know what game engine they're using either. I don't know, which is going to be interesting. I hope it's not the Unreal Engine, because obviously if it's going to be the Unreal Engine, a lot of people are going to be like going, well, if they can do Steam, why can't DGG? But anyway, it might be the Unity engine or something, or it might be their own engine. I don't really know. So it does look kind of interesting though. Oh, seagulls are going crazy. Must be something they're liking today. Oh, I know why. It's because the people that do the rubbish are here, and like trawlers, seagulls like rubbish and stuff. So when the bin men come and collect the rubbish, seagulls are all waiting around, thinking they're going to get something. Phone at them. Right, some another 47 there. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Tram sim looks nice as well, but as I said, I'm not really a fan of trams. But it'd be interesting because it's obviously going to be through Aerosoft, whether or not it'll be a product that Just Trains sell as well. Because some of the Aerosoft stuff ends up being sold on Just Trains as well, so it might be something that Tom gets. And because he works for Just Trains, he'll get like a free copy of it to try. And because it's trams, he'll have a very interesting opinion about it, knowing that he was and still is a tram driver. Obviously he's not a full-time tram driver now, but he still drives trams in Blackpool when they have heritage weekends and they drive the old trams. He still goes and drives some of the old trams then, so it'd be interesting to see his viewpoint on that sim as well. Maybe that might become the OMSI of trams, you know. Maybe they'll start doing DLC like London trams and Manchester and other cities. I don't know. But yeah, that other train sim does look interesting. But then it could just end up being like another trains. I mean, you know, you see the screenshots to trains and you think, oh, looks a good sim. But then in reality, it's a kind of slightly different thing to Train Simulator. But if it comes with an SDK and people can customise and build stuff and do things with it, it'd be very interesting to see. But then again, competition is always good. So if it is very competitive to Train Sim World, then it might make, you know, stir Dovetail up a bit to sort of like do some more things. And I don't mean that in a horrid way, I'm just saying, you know, in general, but, you know, and I don't know if that game's coming out to consoles, because if it doesn't come out on consoles, then that's obviously something that Dovetail have got over that game as well, the fact that it's available on a console. Right then, Reading is now 10 miles away, but I'm not going to comment any more about that. I'm just going by what I saw in the trailer, just like yourself, so I don't know if it's going to be an STK or anything, or editor or whatever. Don't know. At least it offered some train routes which were different to the ones that you normally get, because I mean Dovetail tends to focus on German, American and British, with the odd route from somewhere else thrown in, but I mean this route seems to have quite a few routes from all over the place, so I don't know, we'll see what happens. I think it's due out, is it a year from now or something, next year? I noticed that PMDG have said that the 737 is going to be put back for a bit again. I think they were saying it's going to be about a year from now, because originally when MSFS was coming out, they said that the 737 would probably be out by the first quarter of 2020, and then now it's been put back a bit. Now they're saying it's about a year from now, so they did a forum post yesterday, said it was about 12 months from now, so that was yesterday, so it's going to be obviously this time next year. I think it's just because there's still things with the SDK that they need sorting out before they can do stuff. You know, they've got the visuals there, it's just all the systems they need to get working properly, and I guess the SDK is just not ready yet. Aerosoft are having the same problem as well, because they've got planes in development. You see the screenshots and they look like they're very advanced, but there's just all the system stuff in the background that they're having to wait for the SDK to be, you know, complete with for things. I mean, light planes are a little bit different because they're less complex, you know. A light plane, more or less, you know, is there or thereabouts, you know, in most of the things. Although the Garmins are still buggy, but they're working on the Garmin stuff. I believe that Garmin are actually working on the Garmin stuff. But they were talking about, they were probably saying that yeah, they were probably, the Garmin stuff was probably going to be ready in a few months or something. I think they put down patch number 9 or something like that when that was going to be ready for. But I guess all the things like the steam gauge stuff's more or less there, but you just need more third parties. Asobo are working on planes as well. They've already said that. They're working on airports. They're working on planes in the background too. But as I said, they'll probably be very low-end planes, you know. They'll be a bit like the base game planes, so they'll be like very cheap because they won't be study level. So I mean, they'll probably be sort of like around the $10 to $15 mark, rather than you having to spend $30 or $50 or $60. These will be like really cheap, but maybe they might bring out some more of the steam gauge ones. I'm hoping they'll bring out a 737 model, which is not study sim, but it's kind of, you know, very similar to the level of the 747 or 787 when they're both working properly, because at least it's like something, you know. From the outside you'll go, yep, looks like a 737. In the inside it looks a bit like a 737, but when you click on some of the knobs it'll probably just say an op, but I'm happy with that. I just want something that looks like a 737, and then if the PMDG one's any good, I'll get that. But at the moment I'm happy with the Zebo mod for X-Plane as well. It does its job. Well, I'm a bit behind now because I slowed down for some reason, don't know why, but anyway, I've got to keep going now. I think I'm going to be late. Hope not, but we'll see. got to be there by 18:25, and it's now. It's saying I'm going to get there 2 minutes early, but we'll see. I've got to slow down yet. Got to slow down. I think I'm going to play part 2 of that class 153 scenario, which I played yesterday. There was 2 parts, isn't it? I think I'm going to do part 2 of it. So I'll be back to Sprinter next, I think. Right, so it's telling me that I've got to slow down to 50. Okay, let's start slowing down to 50 then. Got flashing double yellows. Okay, so it's a 50 and a 40, so I've got to be at 40 very soon because we got the crossover at 40. We're going into platform 8 at Reading. You know, I hope chat's still live. Maybe you've all fell off. Maybe you've all fallen asleep already. I said about sim rails and it's gone very quiet. Let's see. Still here, no rise, Ben. No, it's only because we were like, you know, like kind of wrote about sim rails, so I kind of spoke a bit about sim rails, and I was kind of expecting a response or something else, but it's okay. I get that everyone's busy doing things, or lurking or whatever. It's all good. Right, into Reading we go. I'm guessing that ETS2 is on a public beta now as well, because I got an update for one of my sound packs yesterday that I got for my for one of my trucks, and it said it was now 1.39 compatible. So I'm guessing there must be a public beta for ETS out now as well for 1.39. So I might have to download that and give it a go. It just means I won't be able to go on multiplayer for a bit. But I'm not really bothered because I'm not really on multiplayer at the moment anyway. So. Right, let's just pop in here. So we're more or less on time. In fact, I'm a bit early, which is good. Although by the time I parked, probably won't be. Right, let's just stop here then. Oh, that's probably the train that I was getting the yellow for ahead, because it was probably that one. And then just as we get here, we've got 47 popping in as well. In fact, as a special treat, they've laid on 2. And then we've got this train over here on its way off. I guess it's going to go via Newbury and Westbury maybe, or is it going straight on? No, it's going straight on. Okay, so that's obviously going to Bristol and Swindon direction. No, Swindon at least anyway, so if it was going the other way it would have gone round on them points there. But this is before the new track was done, so if you get Great Western Main Lines and all the new track work they did all round here is included in that, so you got like a flyover here now and all sorts of stuff. So yeah, it's changed quite a bit there now, and also the station's obviously changed. You arrived at Reading on time. Wow, that's amazing. Write that down everybody, quick. CK arrived on time. Yeah, it's a workshop scenario because I'm giving it a rating, so there you go. Right then, next route. So I'm jumping back to the East Coast Main Line, but we're going to be doing the Just Trains modern version now, so I'm just going to choose a scenario from there, although I think I'm going to do part 2 from yesterday, because there was a 153 scenario I did, which was 2, scenarios. I just need to choose one of those if I can find it. As you can see, I've got lots of other routes installed now, ready for next month. If there's any other routes on there, they're just because some of the scenarios or some of the scenery required. I think Just Trains Newcastle to Modern, for example, you needed Isle of Wight, and Tottenham you needed Isle of Wight as well for it to show the assets. So I had to install some other routes, but they're mainly just because of either scenarios or for other routes, because they required those routes for assets and stuff. So let's have a look. I think it was the 153 one, wasn't it? There was East Coast Commute. I'm sure there was another one. I'm sure there was 2 parts of this. I'm sure there was 2 parts. It was like Drive Part 1 and Part 2. Maybe I should do one of the 20 ones. Oh, let's do one of these ones actually. Yeah, it's first day of the water cannon season, and you must take out a spotlessly clean RHTT set out to Darlington from York. Yeah, let's do this one. It's set in autumn. It's going to be a bit stormy. Or I can do diverted flasks. Actually, no, let's do the flask one. It's 35 minutes. It's going to be a bit rainy, but yeah. Let's do some 20s. Yep, Brighton Main Line, Portsmouth Direct Line, and also West Coast Main Line, Trent Valley next month are the free routes that I'm focusing on more next month. So I've already installed them ready. I've already installed quite a lot of DLC for them. Right, so here we go. Here's our 20s. Oh yeah, I've got to do all this. I've got to stick this in first. Right, then we can do the... Then we got to do this as well. There we go. So then we put that in. Put the wipers on. But yeah, Brighton next month, and there's going to be quite a lot of scenarios. Oh, this one's a little bit different than the last 20 I drove, because this one's a bit more modern. It's got some proper headlights and stuff on it now. I think the colours seem alright. Doesn't seem too whited out. Oh, another 47 carder. Look at this. It's your lucky day. So yeah, we got some nuclear flasks on the back. So these, I think, are wagons that come with this DLC as well. Although the lights look a bit burnt out. Let's just adjust that, because I think the... let's see if I can adjust the... no, I can't really... There we go. The gauge is a little bit more, not so burnt out now. Yeah. I'll just go with that for now. But it was just that the gauges were very burnt out, you know, where the exposure was very high, so I have to just adjust that. So I know for your end it might make things look darker, but it's just the way it goes. Any max speed for this? Probably, let's have a read, 60. Hello driver, you're currently awaiting the road onto the slow lines at Ferry Hill. Soon as you're running a few minutes early, the coal train is being put in front of you. As soon as you got the road, you may depart for Tyne Yard. Please note maximum speed of this train is 60. Yeah, so 60 miles an hour is the limit of this one. Not surprised though, being that it's nuclear flasks. Right, so yeah, 60 mile an hour. It's good when the scenarios tell you what the speed is, because you get some freight scenarios and they don't tell you. But I think sometimes it's because the people that make the scenarios might not know themselves. So then you end up driving too fast on a freight train and then wondering why the scenario starts to mess up because you arrive at places early or whatever. Here we go, we can make a move. Let's go. But these nuclear flasks are pretty strong, because I remember when they first built nuclear flasks, or they had them for a while, and people were concerned about, you know, the fact that there's like radioactive material or whatever. So people were like, you know, what happens in an accident? What happens if a train crashes into a nuclear flask? So they tested it, and they did a whole test, and it was like, you know, a video and everything. And they got a class 45 with loads of with some coaches, and then they basically set it up so that the class 45 drove into a flask, and the whole passenger train got wrecked, and the whole flask was still intact. And that was the point, to show that, well, you know, these flasks are actually very well built, and so basically they withstand a collision from another train, basically. So you can find that video up out on YouTube if you look for it somewhere. It was like a long time ago. It was like in the 80s or something they did it, 80s or 90s, something like that. Obviously there wasn't a person in the train, it was remote controlled, but yeah. And obviously there was like crash dummies in all the carriages and things, because they wanted to see the effect. Right, so the good thing about these trains is that the AWS you can hear outside. Looks like there's an HST coming, maybe. Oh, I've got to start slowing down to 30. What was that, a red? CK went for a red. Oops. Oh well, not paying attention again. Silly me. Oh well, I'll just slow down to red here anyway. Oh dear. Too busy dawdling out the window. Anyway, it's all good. At least there's not any points here. Although there is a train ahead of me, so yeah. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, well, it's not real nuclear waste. That's the thing. I haven't got my realism head on. You know, I don't really have a realism head. To me, this is just this is not real. So I kind of pretend that it's not real. I find it very hard to pretend things are real unless you're actually in that situation. So it's a bit like when I'm in flight sim. You know, I like to just get in a plane and go. I don't want to sit there and spend half an hour looking through stuff. I do sometimes though when I want to, but a lot of times I just get in the plane and I start a stream and I'm already at the runway and I'm like, right, we're going now, everybody. And that's not an attack on anyone, you know, because I know people stream flights in different ways, but that's the way I like to do it. Right, I'm just gonna coast up to this one as slowly as possible. I don't want to join up to it. That's quite bad, CK. What's bad? What, just everything? Yeah, I know. Right, let's go. Let's just make sure we don't join up to the other train though, because otherwise it'll be an interesting scenario. Here we go, that'll do. Right, we'll just park here. This is bugged. Look, the signal's green. Why aren't you going? I wonder if I messed it up. Was that me that messed it up, I wonder? I wonder if it's me that messed it up. Maybe. I might have to redo it. Oh no, there it goes. He's obviously having his lunch. He was obviously like, you know, he's obviously busy eating his lunch, and he looked up and went, "Oh, the signal's green. Oh, brr, better move now." Right, come on, wakey wakey. But yeah, I have done that before. I've been in a scenario and joined up to another train and then driven that train instead. It's not the first time I've done that. Exactly, Ben. Yeah, oi, Duff, move your ass. Exactly. It's a bit like when you're at the... It's a shame. I should have, like, sat there with you know, and went pressing the horn, you know, like, come on, hurry up. Like when you're at traffic lights and someone's like in the red. Right, we'll just slowly coast up to the traffic lights then. Sorry, the signals. See, I'm even saying traffic lights now. Right then, let's get up to the signal then. This is probably what multiplayer would be like. You'd probably have multiplayer and you'd have people that are you know, in multiplayer you'd have people doing that to you. They'd be like, come on, hurry up. In multiplayer. Because they'd just ignore the signals and they'd just want to like troll you. So it'd be interesting to see how that multiplayer works on that new train game when it comes out. Right, let's just get a bit more closer. There we go. Right, all done. So if you're new to if you've just popped into the stream, then obviously it looks like nothing's happened. I've just stopped at a red. Everything is good. Oh, there's a train somewhere. Don't know. Probably got to wait here for a bit now. There's a green light here, so I don't know if that's got anything to do with it. But this is a freight train. This is what happens. You do have to wait around a lot at junctions and stuff because you'll be a lower priority than other trains. So, hello, Just a Hillbilly. How you doing? We're just taking some new NVIDIA graphics cards with a heatsink to deliver. These are the only two in the UK, so they've been sent to a company that does cryptocurrency mining, unfortunately, so you won't be able to buy these to play games on. Right, anyway, I'm just waiting here. I hope I haven't broken it. Let's see. Let's have a look. I could have broken the scenario as well. Oh no, there we go. That's why we're waiting for this one to come past. There we go. There's a train that's going to be coming round here in a sec, and that's why we're waiting at the red signal. Yeah, here it comes. You can just see it coming round the corner now. No, this is the Newcastle to York Modern route. This is the third scenario this morning. The first scenario was on East Coast Main Line, York to Newcastle. Then the second scenario was on the Great Western Main Line. Now I'm back on the York to Newcastle route, but just the Just Trains modern version. So you've got all the overhead stuff on this one. The other route doesn't have all the overhead stuff. Actually, I can turn the wipers off now. But yeah, I had GWML in the title because obviously played scenarios on that route already. But so I'm already quite far into my stream now, so it's been quite eventful. But that's going to be the problem with the 3080s, because the 3080s will be good for Ethereum mining. So there'll be a lot of mining companies out there that do cryptocurrency mining, you know, like in China or in Iceland, and they'll be buying up a lot of those 3080 cards already to use for mining. Because the same thing happened before, I think, in the past with graphics cards, where graphics cards would be run out because miners were using them. And it's going to be the same thing with the 3080. So it might be one of the reasons why they're quite hard to get hold of as well, because, you know, they could have been a lot been bought by miners and stuff. Right then. I'm not saying that a lot of miners have bought them, but there are some big companies in Iceland and that mining farms that do a lot of graphics card mining, because Bitcoin you use like a dedicated miner for Bitcoin. You use like and they work with dedicated machines, whereas like for other types of coins like Ethereum and that, you use GPUs you use for mining those. So if the price to performance is good and they know they can make a profit out of mining with those cards, then they'll buy a lot of them. Right. Anyway. Right, don't forget 60 CK is the limit. Okay, let's just do 60. God, those sounds, man. I like the choppers though. These get called choppers because obviously like they sound like a helicopter chopper. You know, like the rotor blades on a helicopter, when they get going, it's almost like you think it's a helicopter coming. And with two of them, it's even worse. You could think of it like it's almost like a Chinook. Right, so we got to go to the yard, which I think is 14 miles away, so it'll be about 15 minutes or so to get there. I've always liked the 20 because for me, I don't know if a lot of you remember Pac-Man, but for me, when you look at these from the front, apart from these don't have the little jagged bits at the bottom, these look like the ghosts that used to chase Pac-Man around in the arcade game. You know, if you had like a blue one, a red one, and you had the little jaggedy bits at the bottom, you know, it's just because of their little faces. It always make me think of the Pac-Man ghosts. This does. Epoxy burger alarm. Yeah, people have been ordering a lot of burgers today. I suppose that's the only bad side of having a train, where you can hear the alarms outside the cab, because obviously then, you get the sound. But then other things, obviously it doesn't mean that you don't miss the AWSs as much. Never mind. Obviously, if you get the AP pack, you don't get this. The AP sound pack, I mean. Never mind. Yeah, I've downloaded, as I said, I've already downloaded the routes ready for next month. I've downloaded quite a lot of DLC. I did play a scenario last night on the Trent Valley line because I'd kind of forgotten how slow it is. Because it's quite a resource heavy route, so you can get quite low frames on it. So I was testing a couple of scenarios out just to make sure everything was good. Grab suitcase and preps to leave after that showstopper. What's that? What showstopper? What did I say? You'll have to enlighten me. I sometimes forget what I say, because sometimes when I say stuff you don't hear it until about 10-20 seconds after I've said it, so you have to kind of remind me what I said. Oh, get to the chopper. Alright, got you. Maybe it was related to that. Now I'm thinking of Arnie. Get to the chopper. I think it was it Jellybean that always used to say that? Well, he didn't say it, but he used to type it in chat. Well, actually, no, maybe on the truck streams he used to say it. 20 equals half a bone, 2 20s equals a full bone. Bone. Rag and Bone Man. when someone says chopper to me, I always think of that bike that was around in the 70s and 80s, where you used to a rally chopper. Pretty cool bikes. I never actually had a chopper, but if I remember, my first rally bike was a Boxer. Then I had a Grifter, and then I had I think it was one of the burners. I can't remember which burner it was though, because there used to be a burner, there was like an ultra burner, and I think there was a super burner. I can't remember, but ultra burner was like the most expensive version, and it was kind of black and gold lettering on it. And I had a couple of racing bikes as well, rally racing bikes. I think one of them was and I think I had a BAC bike as well. But yeah. Oh, class 58 CK. Okay. Yeah, I always keep thinking of the 68s as Daleks though, but I guess it's I think it's a regional thing, isn't it? It depends on which part of the country you're from. You might call a train something and someone else in another part of the country calls it something else. Don't know. You know, it's like Carter has his own name for the class 47 and you just call it a Duff. So, I mean, you know. People have different opinions on things. It's like with is it the 31? I mean, I always think of the 31 as like a toffee apple. And other people will call the 31 something else. So it's just, you know, varies. Actually, CK, you're speeding. You're supposed to be doing 60, and I'm just ambling along like I'm sort of like on another planet doing 68. So slow down, CK, please. We're going way too fast now. Right then. Oh, there's number 47 there, talking of which. Although that could have been actually moving, but because I'm now early, that's probably why it's still sitting there. A Goyle. Yeah, exactly. See, a Goyle they're called as well. I think the toffee apple reference came in because of the, you know, when you go in the cab, there's like that throttle or whatever, and it's got a large ball on top of it, so it looks a bit like one of them toffee apples used to get from the fairground. But I get where the Goyle reference comes to as well, because from the front it looks a bit like a sort of like a monstery type thing, doesn't it? But anyway. Alright, let's turn off that now. And that's, no, don't want... Oh, it's one of these, is it? Alright, okay. There we go. That's about as far out of the way I can get it. So I've just slowed down a little bit just to try and get back to where we might have been if it wasn't for me being speeding. Alright, so we just got to go via, so we still got some after this as well, but I guess it's not too far. Did anyone watch the YouTube video with Jeff? You know, Jeff, who's famously did all the stations videos, where he did an interview at Dovetail Games. He went and met Matt Pedalston, and they did and then he basically they did like a whole thing about the Bakerloo line for Train Sim World 2. And I remember in the comments afterwards that obviously the guy making the video didn't know that Matt was a Twitch streamer. So someone mentioned it in the comments, and then obviously he was like, oh, I didn't know he was a Twitch streamer as well. So yeah, it's quite an interesting interview. Well, I mean, he just goes to Dovetail, so you see a little bit of Dovetail games, and then you see them playing on the route, and then Matt tells him about the route and stuff. So yeah, it might be just something to check out. It'll be one of his recent videos. I think the most recent video he's put up now is where you can use your contactless card to go on an HST from Luton Parkway. So he was testing that out to see what that was like, and then yeah, and I think it was a video before that. So he was like, you know, meeting Matt at Dovetail, and then they played the game on the console. His Sap is going to interview him. You'll watch that. Yeah. I noticed Sap wasn't streaming last night. I'm just wondering if it's just because he hadn't got over that last stream of the night before, that crazy stream. That was a mad stream. Anyway, I'm not going to talk too much about it. For those of you that were there, it was a pretty mad stream. I noticed he popped in a stream yesterday and someone had gifted him a game as well. He was like well chuffed. Seems to be having a lot of good fortune at the moment, old Sap does. Which is always good. I think he was just having a Sap break. Yeah, I think so. I'll be playing Project Cars 2 tonight with Kev, so Kev will be streaming that. So I'm going to be doing a race with Kev. We're doing Silverstone in the rain, but the classic Silverstone circuit from the 70s. So that's going to be interesting, a wet race in the rain. But yeah, it did remind me about all those videos I've sometimes seen on YouTube, you know, where people come in your channel and lay down a massive big donation just like that, and then, you know, the people's reactions. It's pretty mad. Pretty mad. Pretty crazy. Right, 2.3 miles to go. Yeah, another burger on the way. Burger for table number 5. Yeah. Right, next waypoint's coming up very soon, about 5 miles. No, actually, no, 2 miles, beg pardon. I don't think the next waypoint's very far after this one, because the scenario is 35 minutes, and we are getting very close to that now, so I don't think there's very far to go now. Gents might be busy again or streaming more again soon. Wales expect to be in a short national lockdown. Yeah, I'm sure I know he's sort of started to do a lot more of his walk-in streams. He did a really nice walk-in stream the other day, actually. The quality was really good as well. I thought, you know, considering, you know, because I thought where he'd be out in the hills somewhere, the signal quality wouldn't have been so good, but it was really good quality. So yeah, maybe see some more of that sort of stuff. You can't really do much of his railway stuff though, unfortunately, because they won't really allow that, but it's a shame. But I suppose the only way you could get away with doing that is if Captain Jenks takes somebody on the live stream with him, and then they basically can act as a not as not as a worker, but just as a passenger. So if he was like on the train, then they could stand on the platform and then video Captain Jenks standing doing whatever he's doing rather than him doing it. But that's the only thing. And also with work, he can't really do any work streams either because he's not allowed to. You'll get a lot of streamers who can do that with trucks and do journeys, but he's not allowed to do that either. But it'd be interesting to see what he does and watch him do a bit of a walking stream. I sometimes quite enjoy doing the streams when I'm in Stockholm now and again, just doing that. I'm always just very self-conscious though, walking around with a phone in front of you, because I know not everybody likes that. So it's alright when I'm just standing by a railway line, just recording doing a live stream of some trains, but as soon as you start walking around and you sort of feel a bit more self-conscious about it, but that's just the way it is for me anyway. But it is quite fun doing them in Stockholm. I don't know when I'm going to be next in Stockholm again. It's probably going to be next year, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens from January, because obviously, as it won't be so much free movement for us Brits anymore, we might have to get some sort of tourist visa thing or something. I've got no idea how it's going to work. So if I want to visit somewhere, I don't know how it's going to work now, but just see how it goes. You don't think? Yeah, I don't know really either, Ben, but the thing is though, who's going to be there to enforce it? If Captain Jenks is walking up a hill, there's not exactly going to be somebody to stand there with a book and give him a tell him off and tell him you're not supposed to be walking up a hill, is there? So I mean, it does really depend. And if you're walking on a hill, what who's really gonna be? Who you gonna affect walking up on the hill? Nobody. So yeah. But the only trouble is, if you get politicians keep doing things and they keep breaking the rules, then people think, well, if they're breaking the rules, then we should just break the rules too. I mean, I know because I mean, even over here in the UK, we've had things like that, with politicians, and obviously Carter had that in the Netherlands as well. With obviously the royal family, because there was a big thing because they went away. Was it they went somewhere for a holiday and then they were only away for a day and then they came back because a lot of the Dutch people were very unhappy about the fact they'd gone away somewhere and no one else is allowed to go anywhere. So. So I think they literally left to go somewhere and they literally had to fly back the next day again. So yeah. Right, so let's go past this signal because we were told that we could go past this signal. So now we're going to pop into TNAD. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens though, Ben, to be honest. I'm in an area where actually the rate is actually one of the lowest in the country, but I think that's mainly because we've got elderly population here. So a lot of elderly are staying indoors anyway, so there's less people out and about. So even though the shops can be a bit mad, but compared to the rest of the country, I think we're still pretty low compared to other places. But I mean, I can understand that obviously cities and that are going to have the worst rates because they're cities, whereas, yeah, you make the rules, obey them yourselves as well. Yeah, exactly, Ben, I mean, look at that MP in Scotland who then decided to travel up and down from Scotland. That was just ridiculous. And then she got asked to resign and she didn't. So there you go. But the voters will remember that, and then when next time there's an election, she won't get in again. And then, of course, the Dominic Cummings business, that wasn't very good either, was it? And then obviously there's stories that obviously MPs are sitting in bars after 10 o'clock drinking, even though they've told the rest of the country they're not allowed to drink at bars after 10 o'clock. But then they go and do it and that's fine. So I mean, yeah, make of that what you will, but there you go. People remember these things, and they think, well, if they can do it, then we'll do it too. Right, anyway, that's the end of that, and that's the end of the stream. That's all I'm going to say about that. That's all I'm going to say. Anyway, sorry about the Newcastle result the other day, Ben. Although, to be honest, you know, you did play all right. It was only the last 5 minutes when, for some reason, United decided to, like, you know, play properly. But there you go. Well done, driver. That's you done for today. Another driver is here to take the train to Sellafield. Oh, okay, so we're actually driving to the nuclear place. Thanks for the entertainment. No worries, Carter. We are tier 2 due to little tests being available. Nah. Right. Yeah, all these tiers. Tiers 2, tiers 3, all this nonsense. It was expected, and you are shit. Yeah, well, Man United are pretty poo as well. It was only the last 5 minutes where we actually decided to, you know, I was quite surprised. I was kind of hoping that you were going to get beat, because I thought, well, maybe if Man United get beat, then maybe Ollie might be out. But you know, I do feel sorry for Ollie though. But I think, you know, it's a shame. But I think that he's not really a manager that's up to the job. I mean, he was a good player and everything, but then it doesn't really help with the board, because the board are useless. So no matter what manager you get in, it's still going to be awful. But I don't think Ollie, you know, because I mean, with his other background of clubs, I don't think he was really. Because sometimes I watch him on the game and he's just looking at a screen. He never on the touchline shouting or screaming at the players. You know, he's just. You know, sometimes you need a manager like that. Right, anyway, enough about football, enough about everything else. I'm going to go and see who I can raid. And I will see you all later. I don't know if I'll be doing another stream today. Probably not, but I'll just be probably around watching other people doing streams. Let's see who I can host. I'm going to give Adrian a host. He's doing a bit of Euro Trucks. I haven't hosted him in a little while. He's one of my viewers. He's very supportive of my channel, so I'm going to give him a little raid. I think he might be probably doing Euro Trucks multiplayer, so I'll just pop in and give him a raid.